if you are stuck in that rut and you're trying to expand the field of vision as it relates to marketing your product, your service, here's sort of what I can, advise you on. Learning from, I feel like, the best of breed products that our firm uses and leverages every day. SEO is one of those things that everyone used to say is all the rage. Then it sort of died down as digital marketing sort of went head to head in the sort of horse race, as it were. But SEO is making a great comeback. And, SEO is not one of those things where it's solely domiciled within, let's say, a website, right? There's SEO aspects and components to running an Instagram and running a TikTok. So I think, like, if you're looking to apply search engine optimization outside of your website, or even within your website, but outside of your website as it relates to building your Instagram, building your socials, your TikToks, etc., my advice to you is go to ChatGPT, use the pro version, which is $20 a month, and ask GPT, hey, help me write a prompt in which I ask you for advice on how to build a highly optimized version of my Instagram business or my TikTok business account, specifically as it relates to my profile. So again, you're not prompting GPT to do anything other than to ask itself introspectively how it would write the prompt. I think that's the biggest missed opportunity today for people who are using GPT. They're writing a prompt thinking that, all right, I'll just ask it to do something. And then GPT ends up getting you a crappy answer to what was already a crappy question.
This is amazing. We're getting into SEO, search engine optimization. We're getting into Instagram, and now we're getting into artificial intelligence, how to use it in your small business marketing.
Absolutely.
But as small business owners, the audience is concerned, gosh, I am small, I'm new. This all sounds overwhelming. You know what I'm going to do? I'm thinking about hiring an agency. And I think Cardiff went down that road to begin with.
Many times.
What do you think about that?
I think an agency for a small business is a bad idea. I think an agency for a medium-sized business could be a good idea. But I think, like, if the audience listening to us, as I understand it, are small business owners, I would say avoid it like the plague. And I would say use GPT and ask GPT questions that you would normally want to ask either someone within your organization for advice, or use GPT as a way to ask questions to someone that you would normally direct those questions to externally. And again, as it relates back to GPT, don't ask the questions to GPT, meaning don't directly ask the question. Write the prompt in a way where you're asking them how to write the prompt. Then once they give you the prompt, then expand on that prompt and build it out. But, a lot of people will build an Instagram account, and Cardiff was guilty of this too, where it's like, all right, we'll build an Instagram account. It's like name, business name, website, what type of business are you? Great. We've built the profile. Now move on. But I think the reality is that TikTok and Instagram are now becoming search engines. And if you can remember how back in the day, we all relied on Google as a search engine, and it was the quality of your prompt, right, that ended up giving you the quality of the answer that ranked. Now, the younger generations, right, Gen Z, are taking that same, again, everything changed, but nothing changed. Wait, what's the phrase I want to use? Everything's changed, but everything stayed the same. Yeah. So it's like, what we used to do with Google was we'd type a prompt into Google and then we'd get a list of answers. Then there was the sponsored answers. And now we're at the point where these algorithms, these social media networking apps have decided, like, all right, well, for a long time, we've leveraged an algorithm in order to give you an answer, right? And the algorithm was based on your scrolling. right? So if you're looking at resorts and vacations and fancy cars and those types of things, or dogs on the Instagram, then it would serve you in your For You page things that are either exactly that or adjacent to. Then they've taken a step further, and now there's a magnifying glass, and the magnifying glass is the search engine. So you go into that and you enter what your query is, and it's going to give you the results. So make sure that your Instagram profile or your TikTok profile is highly optimized in order to rank, if you will, right, in an organic sense for what the user queries are, so that it most closely, right, results in an exact match to that user's query, and your product or your service is at the top of that search.
That's an important lesson, I think, for small business owners that you're teaching, having to do with artificial intelligence or AI, is that using ChatGPT, you can start with the dumbest, the simplest, the question you're most afraid to ask.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask it.
Yeah.
Start with the most basic question first, and the AI will guide you to the more complicated questions down the road. So don't be scared.
Right.
Right. If you don't even understand what SEO on Instagram means, ask.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll get the answer.
Right. And just like I said earlier, which is like, hey, help me to write a prompt about how to optimize from an SEO perspective an Instagram or TikTok profile. Then let GPT write the prompt. And then from there, go down that sort of black hole, right? And learn how to optimize using SEO according to GPT, which is like, you know, the best, the absolute best of breed external resource you could ever hope to have. You mentioned an agency. Should we use it? Should we not? Use GPT as your agency, right? And
amazing.
So, yeah, I think, hey, listen, I think
you mentioned black hole. I'm a small business owner. I'm scared when you say that. Are we talking about like a 1 hour black hole or an 8 hour black hole?
Well, I think,
how much time should I set aside?
I think the most interesting part about GPT is, as long as you don't close the window, you can have that conversation in perpetuity. So you could even park that conversation and come back to it later. And so what I mean by that is, you know, everybody talks about marketing as it relates to top line revenue. Never spend more than 20% of your top line revenue on marketing. Okay. Well, if that's true in your day, spend 20% of your time or less on marketing using GPT. And that kind of leads me to the next thing that I want to talk about, since we're sort of speaking about these social media profiles and as it relates to driving sales for your business, which is, you're a small business owner, a medium-sized business owner. You may not be using an agency to market your products or services. You're doing it internally. You're doing it with few people, right? Maybe you have a social media manager. Maybe you have a one person in marketing. I want to talk about marketing automation. There's a product out there which I can highly recommend, and it's ManyChat, ManyChat. And all it is really is it's the ability to automate messaging, right? And so what it does is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, or if you in particular have ever seen, let's say an Instagram reel. And in the Instagram reel, the real estate professional, the person selling a product or a service says, comment down below this word, profit, as an example. Comment down below profit, and I'll send you access to this blueprint, this spreadsheet, the 5 reasons that small business owners fail, how to flip a property, how to become a wholesaler, what are the 5 biggest mistakes that real estate agents make on the buyer side, on the seller side, whatever the case may be. So the marketing automation tool that's used is, again, called ManyChat, and it's brilliant, it's amazing, and it's cheap. And it's highly effective. And I would argue that if you're a small business owner selling a product or service, you're using Instagram or TikTok, try it out, test it out using the marketing automation technology with ManyChat to be able to send not only a spreadsheet or a document or a PDF, but even a video message.
This is brilliant, because I think prospects not only have click fatigue, they're tired of clicking, thinking that I'm going to be in some buying black hole,
Right.
right? Being taken off page into God knows what.
Yeah. So that's an interesting thing about marketing, right? Which is, that's brilliantly said, is keeping people within the app. And, if you've noticed the tendency of both Instagram and TikTok recently, I should probably say Meta, but as it relates to the more modern usage of Meta, it's really Instagram. It's not Facebook. But it's keeping people within the app. And so you have the advent, even YouTube is doing this. We were at that YouTube conference this week, and they were talking even about YouTube Shorts and how there's now a way to sell products within the app. And the idea is all of these aforementioned platforms are monetizing eyeballs by keeping you within the app. And so they're going to do everything in their power to keep algorithmically punish businesses that are taking people offline, right, to another website. And so ManyChat in specific helps to keep the user continually sort of, again, domiciled sort of within that app. And you don't have to remove them. You don't have to take them off platform to your own website. And so again, if I'm a real estate professional, if I'm selling a product or a service, I'm using ManyChat to send a blueprint, a PDF, a spreadsheet, a video message, and it's all going to their DMs. And I think it's a brilliant piece of technology. I think it's underutilized. I feel like the younger folks on Instagram that are dominating, or young people, drop shippers, etc., e-com people, it's that old sort of like example, that dichotomy between speedboat versus cruise ship, right? Large companies are the cruise ships. Things are more stable, right? And then you have the speedboat, which are like the small businesses, not very stable, definitely feel the wake left behind from the larger companies, making it difficult to sort of like comfortably navigate the waters, but they're able to pivot on a dime, right? And try out new things, new technologies. And I love that about the e-com space specifically, because they're more willing to bet on newer sort of esoteric technologies as it relates to disseminating their message in a cheap and economical way. And I mean, they're winning, right? They're winning. They're hands down winning by leveraging these cheap technologies that, again, have like democratized marketing and sales, specifically because they're not biased against new technologies like the old gray hairs are, right? The older people who run these larger organizations.
What an amazing time we live in, where ChatGPT is democratizing the idea of free advice, right? Where you can get advice on any topic, ranging from your health to setting up digital advertising for your small business, to tools like ManyChat that are keeping your potential, your prospect, your customer in the app, while also helping them to feel like they're still at the top of the funnel and doing research. Meanwhile, you're really trying to sell them something.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, we can do deeper dives on like subsequent episodes, but I think hopefully you guys have taken away some good stuff from this episode that you can apply, right? The idea behind the business series is really, it's like, what business advice can we give to you that either helps you avoid obstacles that we've had to overcome in the last 20 years of operating a very large, institutional size operation, or what have we learned in recent years, right? As insofar as it relates to strategies, whether it's technology or advertising, marketing, and sales, that'll help you sort of borrow from that, right? In order to apply and scale within your organization. So hopefully you guys had some good takeaways from today, right? That's all we have for you. So we'll see you next time. Adios.